This will make it into the podcast. My roommate just left, but she wanted to tell me hi. Wanted me to tell
Oh,
you hi.
okay. Hi.
And hello, 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 and welcome to the BFA Baby podcast. If you're watching the video version on YouTube, you may recognize that the background's a little different. We had some technical difficulties in the studio I usually shoot in. So welcome to my bedroom wall. Today is still a very super special episode. We have a TikTok sensation, fellow class of
Oh,
2026 BFA baby, Max Ashford, here with us today. Thank you so much for being
hi.
on the podcast. And take it away. Introduce yourself. Let us know anything.
Okay. Um, my name is Max. I'm a sophomore right now at a BFA program. I go to the Hart School in Connecticut. It's also connected to the University of Hartford. Um, I do TikTok, but I wouldn't say TikTok sensation. I like post a little bit. Um, but yeah, like I'm basically just like a theater TikToker, I guess. But yeah.
I would say sensation because I found you on TikTok and every single one I saw like made me laugh so hard and I like fell down this whole rabbit hole. And then when I was like, who am I gonna DM to be on this podcast? I was like, I'm gonna DM Max.
That's so funny. Thank you. I feel honored.
No, of course, of course. No, you got it. You take that sensation and run with it. So we'll just kind of get started right in this interview. So I got my questions listed out.
Mhm.
So when were you first introduced to performing?
I started a little bit later than most people. My first musical I was in was in eighth grade. I was in Mary Poppins Jr. Um, I auditioned. We had like this like musical theater class, and I saw the play like the year before, and I was like, wow, I want to do that. So I just like gave it a try, and I liked it. I mean, I was like ensemble. I wasn't like great at by any means, but that was my first show, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
And
do you think um
sorry, continue
no,
on.
you're totally good. Um I if you don't know, I am a BFA dance major, you're
Mhm.
MT. A
Yes.
little different angle. There's a lot of conversation in the dance side of things about like starting later. Like, can you start later? Do you need to be start when you're 5 years old to be able to do this professionally? And obviously here you are, you're getting your BFA, you're doing the thing. Do you have any thoughts on like, is it too late to start this? Is it too late to do that?
Yeah. I think it's never really too late to do anything. I think like I think it's probably harder to start later in dance, like ballet and stuff, just because like the foundations, but like just in general, starting in like theater, like you can really I have classmates who are in my program who they did one show and that was their senior year. And it's really about how much you put in, no matter how late you start in life. Like I didn't start dancing until last year, and then like now dancing has been like one of my like good skills that I like started doing jazz, hip hop, and then I'm doing tap this year, ballet, and I love dancing, and I didn't discover that until I was 17 years old, so I don't think it's ever too late to start.
Yeah, I love that. That's kind of what's happened with me. I was always like, it'd be fun to do like musical theater stuff, and I didn't start singing till this past year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's everyone's like, well, you should have been doing this whole time. And it's like, well, I didn't.
Yeah,
But
and I just have to work hard now, and it'll be
yeah,
great.
and I'm gonna do it and it's gonna work out. Awesome. So this is kind of my favorite question that I wrote down. What are some like pivotal career quote unquote moments and what made you want to like go get your BFA and pursue this? Because
Yeah.
we kind of talked in our initial DMs, like it's kind of not a heard of thing where we come from.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, I my whole life, not my whole life, but like for a lot of my life, I like was really set on like being a journalism major. I really wanted to like move to the East Coast, move to New York and just write articles. And it wasn't until my senior year of high school. I've been doing shows up to this point, but to do it as a career, I didn't consider it until my senior year of high school. It was November, it was like Thanksgiving break, and that's when pre-screens are due, like November 15th. And
Right.
I was, wow, I really want to like do musical theater. And so I looked up like musical theater like auditions, and I was like, they're due like a week after Thanksgiving. And like I was like really it was a moment over Thanksgiving, and I decided I wanted to like start recording pre-screens and do all that stuff. And a lot of schools I couldn't apply to because their deadlines were already set. And
Mm-hmm.
so I just did the schools that I could and scrapped together some stuff, and that's where that went. But pivotal career shifts, I don't know. I feel like my career like kind of just started. I feel like I'm not super. I only have one professional credit. I did summer stock this summer. Yeah, that was
Yeah, and you
fun.
did like 3 shows at once, didn't
Yeah,
you?
we did 3 different shows. We did Charlie Brown, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. We did Leader of the Pack, which is like kind of like a 60s jukebox musical. And then we did Joseph, which is my second time doing that show. Um, that's on my resume twice. But that was like a big shift for me too, because last year I got pretty burnt out in my BFA program. And like I just felt so much like comparison going on. I didn't feel like an individual. It wasn't about my program, it was just about myself. I have a comparison problem. And so just being in a new space with new people and like performing and like kind of like revitalized my like love for theater again and like gave me so much more confidence. So that was a big
Yeah,
shift.
I totally felt like part of the reason I wanted to start this podcast was like I want to talk to who I was in the past and who I even was last year. Like even like coming back into sophomore year, yay, class of 26, which
Yes.
like doesn't feel like a real year, but like even coming back, I was like, okay, you know how this college thing works now. Like you're not gonna do because like I got in such a habit of like, oh, I'm like the worst in my class because I had a bad ballet class
Yes.
at 8 a.m. this week. Like, calm down. It's not that deep. Or
Right.
like,
It's really hard to focus on the grand scheme of things when you're in it. Like the
and
smallest
this
thing in one class.
yeah, and like looking back, like, I wasn't cast in like a I understudied, but I never went on for our spring dance concert. And like it was a great experience because then like looking back, I realized that then allowed me to call lights at the American College Dance Association Festival. Like that I still got to work with our guest artist as a freshman. Like I was the only freshman to do that. Like in the moment, thank you. In the moment, it was like, my life is over. But then it's like, okay, hold on. Like it's gonna happen when it's supposed to
Right.
happen.
Yes, I
And
totally feel that.
yeah, I think especially freshman year when it's like such a new experience, you're just like any little thing that goes wrong, it's like life or death, and it's just not.
It's not. And honestly, it still happens to me. Like I've had like a pretty tough week when it comes to like my BFA, like school wise. I've just been really busy. And I was like nervous to do this interview. I was like, I don't want to be so negative. Like I just need to like forget about this
No,
week and think about my whole life here. And just yeah, it's
no,
hard
we
sometimes.
appreciate all thoughts, feelings on the podcast. Because no, like it's been a crazy week here too. Like some of my midterms were this week, and some of them were last week, and I was like, what is this going on? We have like other tests and projects, and I'm like, okay, let's
I know. We luckily I had a music theory midterm, and we were just all dreading it. And then my professor got sick, and so now we can take it online and it's due Sunday, and I haven't done it yet, but it'll be much easier with no time
Well, I
left.
took I took my theater lighting midterm and it was online and I did well, so I'm sending those vibes
Yes. Thank
sending
you,
those
thank you.
vibes over. We did some music theory in my voice class and I am just like I'm not wired that way. Like I it's just it's I'm not smart like that.
It's yeah, it's difficult. I don't. It's so hard. It just takes me too long. It takes me too long
Right.
for that goal. Like
Literally,
I'll
I'm
never
like,
be able to.
y'all, I just learned how to read music. Like, hold on. Like,
Right, right. One step at
oh
a
my
time.
God.
But it's like reading
So
music is the most important, so you're good.
right, I'm like, I can read it. I just got there. But no, for a long time, my notion was that the guitarist of Guns N' Roses slash the top hat sunglasses, he can't read music at all. And I like for
True.
the longest time I was like, I'm not gonna do it because if Slash can be like the best rock guitarist and not read music, I'll figure it out. And then it was like, no, you
No,
you are not as cool.
he's different.
Bill, he is so built different. So yeah, kind of leaning into question three. Um, we kind of again talked about this in our DMs. How do you think that like the standard in your family and like what family members have done in the past, how did that impact your career choices? Because like for me, my twin that's at the same college as me right now is going into nursing. And
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
like, I'm gonna be a ballerina. So it's like,
Hmm.
did you experience something? I mean, obviously maybe you're not a twin, but something kind of like were you the first person to do something creative, something out of the box, something
Yeah, yeah. I definitely I do relate to you in having a sibling who is in the medical field. My dad is like a doctor, that's his thing. And so my older brother, he's going to school for biomedical engineering, which is like I think statistically one of the hardest degrees that you can do because it like combines engineering and like bio, which is like super complicated.
Right.
I just don't have an interest in any of that. And so when I first like told my dad about being a musical theater major, he was like instantly he looked up like Broadway statistics. He was like, how many people are in Broadway without going to musical theater school? And like that's totally fine. People can do that. But I knew for me, I wanted to like have the 4 years at a school, like really like learning this. Like I knew that's what
Right.
path I wanted to go on. And he was just so sad. I'm like, you don't have to go to school for it. Like you don't. But I was like, I do want to. That's what I want to do. Because he wanted me to like get a major in like something else. I mean, I was already doing journalism. That doesn't get much money either. But but like I think it was a good transition. But eventually, like once like I convinced him and once like I like showed him like these statistics and like explained the major. He didn't understand the major. He was like, how can you major in sing, dance, and act? So I had to like take him through like the career, like the course things. And once we toured schools, he got a more understanding of like what the school does. And so now he's definitely supportive, but it was just like a lot of pushing to get him to like agree with my major choice.
No, I totally think that we live the same life because I have this vivid memory of like my dad was sitting at the computer and we had this like little couch like in the office
Yeah.
and he's like looking up salaries and statistics and like all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff and he's like, well, what if you're gonna be homeless and blah 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 blah? And I'm like, whoa, calm down. Like,
I know, looking for the
no, he
extreme.
was definitely like, I don't believe that this is a real thing. But then I think like you're right, as you tour schools, as you hear the people that have made this their career talk about
Mm-hmm.
it, you're like, okay, there's more people in this than, I thought.
Right.
And I think also like, especially coming, because I also knew like I wanted to go get my BFA, go expand some horizons, and then run out into the world and see what happens. And I think like it also you have so many different perspectives from your professors, from alum, like as you're here, as people graduate and go do things. It's like
Yes.
I didn't even know that I wanted to get my MFA until I came to college and I heard of like professors getting their MFAs and what they went off and did with that. And I was like, dude, I could do that. And like I could be the first one in my family to go to grad school. And like there's so many more avenues that you really wouldn't know about unless you were in like the starting point.
Mm-hmm. I
And
have
I
to
think
agree.
I'm a big proponent of like I talked about this in last week's episode is like you're not going to be happy anywhere else. Like yeah, I could have gone and I could have been a nursing major and I would have worked hard to be good at it. But would I have loved my life? No.
No, 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 no. Yeah. I do understand the thing where people are like, will you be happier anywhere else? And for me, I do love theater a lot, but I also have a huge passion for like social media and like marketing and graphic design. So I do have a bit of a problem when people, I'm not saying you do this, but like some people are always like, if you can see yourself doing anything else, do that. But like I don't
Right.
agree with that because everyone needs like a job. You can't live off of theater unless you're like super successful.
Hey,
It's like a side
like
job. And so
yeah.
I want my side job to be like marketing and my main job theater.
Yeah, so and I totally get that. Like obviously the dream is you go be the next, Jeremy Jordan. That's obviously the
Yeah.
dream, but like realistically, like passion doesn't pay the bills, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And that's why I chose like I'm getting a minor in advertising. Like we're kind of on the same page here.
Yeah.
Like do something a little more practical, but you still have that like creativity.
Hmm.
And I
That's
think
like
that's
another reason for college because you can like if you really make use of the time well, you can learn musical theater, dance, whatever, but you can also learn skills from other parts of if you're not going to conservatory, other parts of the college and stuff like that.
right. And I think another big thing is like if I'm getting this advertising degree as well and it's like well, theater companies need advertising, ballet
Hmm.
companies need advertising. Like there's still an area for me
To
to
combine
work,
both. Yeah.
right, to work in the field even if I'm not on stage all the time. And I think like that was the moment that my parents were like, "Okay, it's not
Yes.
just
Yeah.
like go be a star or die. It's like just be in the not sit behind a desk is
The industry. Yes,
right,
I do
right, right,
know.
right. Of course, of course. So something a little lighter, just tell me about how your college experience is going.
Yeah, it's overall it's been really good. I love the school I chose. I love like the place I'm in. I've met so many great people. There's just so much things that I just never even knew about before I came here. I've My first acting class was at college. Um, like my voice teacher is just phenomenal. I've grown so much in my voice. Like I told you, I found my passion for dance here, and just been going great. I mean, I don't know how much further to go into this. Like, do you have any like
Anything
parts?
you want. Do you I have an indention. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Um, tell me a fun story about your best friend at college.
Oh, okay. The problem is I don't know if I can tell these stories on a podcast.
Tell a story that's like tame then. Tell a story that
Okay.
like they wouldn't be that your friends would be fine with chilling on the podcast.
Okay. Oh my God. I just can't think. Okay. Some fun. I'll just tell you like a fun general story about my school, and it kind of
Perfect.
includes my friends. Um, we have like these musical theater parties that like are just for like the theater program, and those are just like where like some of the most fun moments happen because you're in such like a safe space because it's just everyone in the theater program. There's no like random people from the college, and there's always like these themes. And this is my friend. I don't know, should I name drop? He probably doesn't care. Nick, my friend Nick. He always brings at
Shout
some of
out
the parties.
Nick.
Yeah, shout out Nick. He becomes Vanessa because he brings this like redhead wig, and he just like is insane at like just the things he does. It just are so funny. He becomes a different person. And it's just so funny to interact with him while he's being Vanessa at these parties.
I love
The
it. Yeah,
funniest.
we have what we so our mascot's a bear and what we lovingly call the BFA bear bashes. And
Mm.
it's like all the BFA like theater and dance kids. And I've never been to one, but I like everyone tells me I should go. And shout out my College of Business advisor, Jim. I know he's not listening to this. Um, but my College of Business advisor went here and his now wife, when they were dating, she was like in the theater department stuff. So he went to all these parties with her. And
Oh,
he's like, they're the best parties. You gotta go to them. And I was like, tell me to pass my marketing classes. Like, what are you doing?
yeah,
No, I
that's
love him,
insane that your
but
professor's telling you that.
yeah,
That's
no,
so
I
funny.
was like, okay, great advisement session. Thanks, Jim. But no, I think do I have a good story so I can like share in this?
Hmm.
I have a good story. So last year for fall dance concert, um, I'll name drop Logan Starkey. I don't think he's listening to this,
Oh
but
wow,
an
first and
alum of
last.
the program, an alum of the program, choreographed a dance, and it was me and it was five of us, and we were cats. Okay, not
Oh,
like Cats the musical, but like we were cats, and we were like these city cats, and we were kind of like a little family, and we were all different cats. Like I was a black cat, but I had like a white sock, and it was like kind of a whole thing. And we had like the makeup going on. And does your school have a yik yak?
what's the like the app?
Yeah.
We do, but then like bad things happened on it, so no one uses it anymore.
So our school has a yik yak. I'm not on it too much, so I don't know if anything's bad's happened. But I was walking to the theater in like full cat getup to go to a dress rehearsal because
Oh my
I don't
God.
know why I like didn't have time to get ready there. I think I was coming from work or something, but I
You
was
post up
walking
a
in
Yik
with my
Yak?
makeup done, and this kid passes me. Like I'm going this way, he's going this way, and then immediately looks at his phone, and I was like, "Oh, you know."
Oh no.
And then I opened the Yik Yak just to look at it, and someone was like, "No way! I just saw a girl in cat makeup on campus." I
That's
was like,
so
"It's
funny.
art. You don't get it." Like,
Yeah. Was it around Halloween time?
no, it was like in December.
That's hilarious.
So I yeah, and then yeah, so I have a yik yak to my name. But no, I was like like
You
there's no
done?
way.
Did you see it like right after or like while after?
Probably a couple minutes after, like I just opened my phone to just look at it and like kill time while I was
Oh,
waiting for the theater to open, and I was
at
like
least it's
there's
not like
no
pictures or anything.
I think you can yik yak pictures now, but at the time you
No.
couldn't.
Good,
Oh my God,
good.
could you imagine if someone on campus was just like and
Just
took a picture of me with
casual.
all my shit like walking to this theater?
I can't. I can't walk out in public in like theater makeup. What
Dude, I
like most theater makeup I can, but one time I played Fester and I had like a bald cap and we had a break to get like lunch. And I refused to leave that building to get lunch.
that's when
And
you
so I
like
had to
put a
grow
hat
up.
on and just like
I could have. I didn't have a hat. I don't wear hats much. So I didn't have one.
you're like it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
The
I
best
can't.
is like that was a pretty pivotal MSU moment for me was the cat
That does seem
yik
like a big
yak.
moment. Yeah.
That was kind of a big moment. I don't think it gained much traction, but
You saw it. It
I
reached
did see
you.
it and it was about me.
Yik yak
Um
for you page.
yeah. But I think it's by college now. Like cuz it used to be like just like the 5 mile radius around you.
Yeah.
But I
But
think
now
it
it's
like you can just sign into like your school.
hmm.
Oh my God. Does your college have a Snapchat story? We're getting off the
Yes.
rails here.
Yes, we
How do
do.
we get out of the Snapchat story?
I'm actually off my Snapchat. I have no idea how to like use. I don't know, but I've been wondering how to get off of mine for a while. They
Because
just post
I'm not
random stuff.
only because for a hot second I was only in class of 26, which I was like, okay, yeah, cool. But now I can also see like 25 and 27. And
Yes, yes. I got added to 27. I was like, I don't care about the freshmen.
I barely care about what my class is doing. Yeah, I have to figure out how to get out of the
They're like,
figure
anyone
out how
looking
to
for a
get out of
roommate?
the
No, I'm
school
not.
Snapchat. Cause like
It's
it
crazy.
used to be like student organizations promoting stuff like Go Bears,
Mhm.
love it. But then it like people would be like beefing on the Snapchat story.
Yeah, the beef, those public
Like
stories
how do you have time to beef with someone on your public
on
story?
a public story that's on the whole school. Like what?
Like
Makes no sense.
how do you have time to do that? Like I don't have time to eat
People who
most
aren't arts
days. Like,
majors.
dude, we be busy. Also, we need to put that out on the podcast. To graduate with your BFA here, you need like 50 extra credit hours.
Of what?
Just like coursework.
Oh, yeah. There's just like more like class
More
like
to
your days are
do.
fuller. Yeah.
And it's
Yes.
like, yeah, we're singing, dancing, and acting, but we're also like
It's still
unlocking trauma
exhausting.
at 9 a.m. Like,
Yeah. And like it requires so much more energy. You have to be like so present. You can't just like sit in a lecture hall.
right. We need to get that out into the world. Cause it's
Yeah.
like my roommate and she's also a dance major. So she's a dance and mathematics major, so she kind of has a foot
Oh,
in both worlds.
yeah.
But she's like, yeah, sometimes I can just go to my math classes and like I'll focus, but I'm just sitting there.
That's me in some of my theater like classes that are like theater history.
Like the
That I feel like I'm
lectures,
a student.
low-key,
Yeah.
sometimes in my lighting lecture, like I'll be taking notes, but like I'm just not fully there. But we were
Yeah.
talking about it, like we're exercising like 50 something hours
True.
a
The amount of
week
cardio we get a day is crazy.
is too much, arguably.
It's too much. I don't have enough food for that. I don't have enough meals.
Literally, and then food is so expensive for no reason. And
I
I be
didn't
working
realize
a
that.
couple jobs, but like, come on
Yeah.
now.
I didn't realize that until I had to start getting off my meal plan and buying food. Like I was just like, wow. I realized it this summer when I was fully independent buying my own food at like summer stock.
Yeah.
I was living check to check
No,
for food.
literally. Literally.
It was
I
rough.
will be like, I'll like budget out my groceries for the week and I'll be like,
Mhm.
am I gonna eat tortilla chips and a banana every day? That's what it's looking like.
It's so bad because you need energy for dance.
But then also like our dining halls here, like I'm gonna shit talk Missouri State for a hot sec. Our dining
Mhm.
hall here are just like not safe. Like,
The food or
yeah,
the dining hall?
like what?
The food or the dining hall? Like it's dangerous in there?
Oh, well, Springfield, the city we're in is dangerous, but like the food, like there's like every other month we get an email that's like raise concerns about undercooked chicken, blah blah blah
Just
blah.
cook the chicken. Literally just cook it
I'm
for
like,
like a minute
guys,
more. I don't get
and
it.
I don't have a meal plan this semester because I live off
Hmm.
campus.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm like, guys, like, what are we doing? Like,
Get some better chefs. Why are they not cooking chicken?
also, like, I feel like chicken is it's hard to make it taste good, but it's not hard to make sure that it's
It's
cooked
not
all the
hard
way
to
through.
cook. It's not hard to cook.
You gotta season that bad boy, but like, it's not hard to
I
cook.
get steak because you want it to be like red, but you want it to be
Right.
like cooked. I
But
get
like chicken
that.
just gotta go all the way through. Like you just gotta be
Yes, just it's pretty simple. Pretty
pretty
simple.
simple. Okay, we are morphing into the performance era of the questions.
Hmm.
I added these because I joked about doing a performance episode on the last episode, and it's happening the week after this comes out.
You want you want me to perform?
No, but I'm gonna ask you
I cannot
questions about
perform right now.
performances.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
You're like, not on the podcast.
Not on the podcast. I didn't warm up for that.
No, someone I don't like literally have no idea at all sent me a DM and was like, you should perform on the podcast. And I was like, no.
I can send you a reel, like just
And
no
I was like, do you know a casting director? Like,
Yeah. Is that why?
I said, why do you want me to? I was like, I mean, if you could get me a job, no. But I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
that's funny.
I was like, okay. First performance section question.
Mhm.
Have you performed at your college yet?
Yes. So the sophomores, the main stages, like the shows, like the real shows, are for the juniors and seniors. The
Oh.
sophomores have like project shows, which are basically shows without costumes and lights and a set. It's just like kind of like in like the black box room or like one of the
Yeah.
rooms. Um, and I perform Constellations. It's like a two-person show about it's I've been telling people it's similar to Last 5 Years, but just two characters. Um, and then we made it so that like the two characters were like split into four people. And
Ooh.
so each day we would eventually all perform basically the whole show, but each day we would have assigned scenes with like a new partner. And so as sophomore projects are mainly about like the process. And so I learned a lot from that process. And then in college, I'm also understudying the role of Flick and Violet right now. And it's been good. I've missed a lot of rehearsals because I'm doing an internship at a local theater, but that ends soon. So
So are you like marketing there or are you performing there?
at the theater, I'm working front of house. So like getting like the theater ready and like I work at the bar. I might like transfer to a marketing internship because I talked to them about that, but not performing. But I've
Yeah,
gotten to
but
meet some
no,
like
but
cast stuff. It's been fun.
yeah, still careers in the space. We gotta love those.
Mhm.
I literally wrote a question about your summer stock stuff. Favorite summer stock memories, how does that process differ from shows you've been in before?
Yeah,
Especially because like you did multiple shows in one summer.
right. So summer stock is very different than anything I've ever done. It's because we like lived and breathed with the same people 24/7. I had a house. It was like a house, and there was three rooms, and I had a roommate. And so there were six guys in our house, and they called our house the Smash Bros house because we'd play the game Smash Bros on like the Nintendo Switch literally every day. And so that became our title. We just like played video games and like just hung out all the time. And then when we weren't doing that, or other words, when we weren't in rehearsals that we were doing, but when we were in rehearsals, which was like 10 to 10 every day, so like the mornings would be blocked out. We would do like one of the shows, and then the afternoon we'd rehearse another show, and then the night we'd rehearse another show. Because in total we put on 5 shows in the summer. I was only in 3. They were all musicals. And so it was just a heavy, heavy, heavy rehearsal process. And like keeping 3 different shows in your brain at the same time is a lot. It's a lot to do. And we would rotate them. So like Monday I would do Charlie Brown, Tuesday I would do Leader of the Pack and Joseph. And then Saturday, like we would have 3 show days sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy.
But
It
like
was crazy.
also
It was
crazy,
fun.
but like sounds like a lot of fun. Like
It was a lot of fun. And it was such a great resume builder because now I have 3 shows on my resume from one summer, which is really good.
right, kind of killed multiple birds. And I think like I want to make a comment about like you guys playing Super Smash Brothers because that sounds like one really fun. And two, I think I'm very happy to hear you say that because I think it humanizes us. You know, sometimes people are like, "You're a performance art major. Are you like fucking crazy? Is it like Black Swan?" It's like, no.
Oh, Black Swan. Yeah, I
Oh my
watched that
God,
movie
not
for
Black
the first time
Swan.
last year. It's good. But yeah,
Yeah,
it
I'm
does.
like, no, we do normal stuff. We have
Normal
fun. I
things.
mean, we're serious about what we do, but like no one's killing ourselves. Like we're not killing each other. Like
Yeah.
we're
It's
having
not
fun.
we're not in competition like that. But one thing I do want to add, it was really fun to work summer stock and a good experience because I got to meet so many people who were in the industry, like people who lived in New York, people who lived all around the country, and hearing their experience and like if they went to college, if they didn't, how much they've been working, what kind of like theaters they enjoy working at. I got to learn a lot because I was one of the younger people there, and
Mhm.
so like having that many like mentors was really a good experience. Yeah.
That's also like so critical. Like just the networking that I think college has brought to me. Cause
Mm-hmm.
like your professors know people and you know your professors. And
Right.
we literally got on a Zoom this morning with like an industry choreographer that just is a friend of our professors and like talked to us
Yeah.
about like getting choreography staged and stuff. Like I think that's also a big part about college that I think has like really kept me
Mm-hmm.
excited to keep even when it's hard, we're chasing that dream.
Yeah, I always love when people bring master classes to my schools. We to my school and we do like dance master classes and those are always really good.
They're so fun. So are you from the Northeast?
No, I'm from Minnesota. I'm from the
Oh,
Midwest. But I've always wanted to go to the Northeast.
I think there's something about because I'm from Missouri. I think there's
Oh, wait,
yeah,
do you go to
great
school
answer.
in the
Oh,
Northeast?
what?
Where do you go to school again?
I go to Missouri State University in Springfield.
Oh, and you're from Missouri too?
Yeah, I grew up in St. Louis.
Not St. Louis. That's the city I know in Missouri.
Yeah, but yeah, St. Louis and Kansas City are like the only places that are worth going to.
Kansas, sorry, this sounds so stupid. Kansas City's in Missouri.
So there's a Kansas City, Missouri, and a Kansas City, Kansas. There's two.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought it was in Kansas. That's crazy.
It's a whole thing, but yeah, no. And I think a lot, I mean, the thing kind of here is like you graduate and you're like, okay, bye, on a plane to New York. Like,
Yeah, it really doesn't matter like the area you go to school. Like
no,
there's good schools all around. You don't have to go to the East Coast, but I just wanted to like experience college out here. And it is nice that I can just take the train to New York. It's like less expensive than flying, but that's the only
right.
benefit I'd say.
Yeah. And I think, but I mean, I like when I was auditioning and stuff, like I was like, I want to go out of state. I want to go out of state. And like obviously it didn't work out like that, but I'm loving my life here.
Right.
And I think it's like that was kind of like a you're gonna be here for 4 years and you're gonna go do it professionally or at least work to. Like it doesn't really just if you have a good program and you're safe and healthy in there,
Mm-hmm. If you're
you'll
like
be
if it's
fine.
fast, you're gonna learn the most, and you don't have to
Right.
be in New York City to do that.
No, and even like Rachel Thomas, she's another like theater TikTok girly.
Is
Um
she in Chicago? Is this the person I'm thinking
yes,
of?
the curly hair. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
her. She had just posted something on her Instagram about like when you go right out of school, like it's not always like Broadway or nothing. Like get some like
Yeah.
you can't have
I
that
don't think
mindset
that.
because it's just
It's just
not
not. You know,
realistic.
you need to build up to there.
Right.
There's the outliers though, where you just book right after school.
Of course, but I mean like real like quote unquote realistically, that's like one in
Realistically.
a million.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
lightning in
Broadway's
a
not
bottle type
everyone's end
thing.
goal, you know. It
Right.
just like depends on what you're looking for.
Absolutely. Um uh last performance indent. Any dream roles?
Yes. My biggest dream role of all time, my favorite show. I want to play Frozen. Kristoff and Frozen.
I literally no, you started talking. I heard like you were like my biggest dream role, and immediately in my brain I was like, I'm getting Disney Prince vibes.
Kristoff isn't a prince though, but
He
the
could
vibe.
be.
He is in Frozen 2.
I didn't see Frozen 2.
I'm gonna leave the Zoom call now. Just
I'm
kidding.
getting off the podcast. Well, no, actually, I watched the thing on Disney Plus about like how they made it.
Oh, interesting. You should also
It was
watch
like
the movie
very
on Disney
chaotic.
Plus.
Like I was like, y'all, what?
Yeah, like
But
Elsa's hair eats tarantulas like animated. It's interesting. But
well,
yes,
I've heard all
Kristoff,
about it because the
and then my
babies
second
I
one.
teach
Oh, sorry.
ballet too. The
Wait,
babies I
you teach
teach ballet
babies?
too. Yeah, I
Oh,
teach. Yeah, they always we do the princess dance. And it's like this song with all the Disney princesses in it.
oh,
And I'm always say, there's like this musical interlude at the beginning, and we put on our dress and put on your crown and wave your magic wand. What else does a princess need? She needs shoes, put on whatever.
yeah.
And I'm always like, what color do you want your princess dress to be? And they're always like, I want to be Elsa. And I'm like, okay, girl.
That's hilarious. Yeah, like Frozen is one of my favorite movies, and it's just shared with a ton of little children.
But it melts my brain because they weren't even born when it came out.
Right. I remember I saw that because
I saw it in
this,
theaters.
yes, I did. This is when actually when my love started for theater. I sang "Do You Want to Build a Snowman" for a talent show in like fifth grade. It was revolutionary. I thought I did so good. I think I
Pivotal
sang in
career moment.
too. I had a high soprano little boy voice.
Little church choir boy.
Yeah, basically.
I remember going with my dad and my sister. We just like went and saw it in theaters because like, how old was I in 2013? Like nine, 8 or 9,
Yeah.
9 or 10?
I remember. I think I was in fifth or fourth grade. I forget.
Yeah, like I was like kind of getting a little old for Disney princesses, but not quite.
No, that's not too old. 8 or 9,
Yeah,
that's a
see,
prime age.
see, as I've reshaped my viewpoint as I have become my own person,
I
you're
think you
never too
separate
old for
from it and then
Disney.
you realize it's cool again. Like there's a gap in between where you're like
Right.
Disney is for kids. And then when you're like at a certain age, like 15, 16, you're like, I love Disney now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I am embracing the you're never too old for the magic when you
Yes,
need it.
yes, yes.
So we
I think
have
it's my second one. Jack. I need to talk about Jack from Into the Woods.
let's
I
hear
love
about it.
that's all I had to say about it. That's just my
Oh,
dream. Another one.
another one. I that train of thought just completely left my
Hmm,
brain.
real.
Real. We'll come back to that if
Okay.
it jumps back on, but no, I don't know, I kind of have like some dance dream roles and I have some like as I venture into MT dream roles.
Yeah, I want to hear about yours.
I want to be the girl in the Hamilton ensemble that does the
With the
bourrées and
bullet.
drops the Reynolds pamphlet.
Wait, did you say the bullet or the Reynolds pamphlet?
Does the bourrées? She goes and she drops the Reynolds pamphlet.
I don't remember
She's
that
just
part, but I think that'd be a
she's just
great
one
role
of the
for you.
ensemble girls,
Yeah.
and she just has this little ballet moment and then drops it.
Oh my gosh. There's like a lot of
Um,
moments like that in Hamilton that are just like little features that I love.
the book guy.
I don't analyze them like you do.
No, well, I've always seen myself as like an ensemble girly.
So you always like make you pay extra attention to.
Yeah. So I'd love to be in the Hamilton ensemble because there's so many different styles of dance represented
Yeah.
throughout the entire show.
Hmm.
And I think like it would be so iconic to be a part of that. Lift those chairs.
It's such. I love the style of dancing,
It's so
and
like it's little things, but it's all so powerful.
yeah, we did a Hamilton combo last year in my dance class. It was just so fun.
So fun.
It was
I
great.
think for ballet, like if I, go run away and join a company, I would love to do Jules, Balanchine's Jules. Do you know anything about? So
I don't know the ballet terms.
George Balanchine founded New York City Ballet, and He
Oh,
created
I know
this.
who Valentine is, I
Yeah,
think.
he's kind of a bad dude, but like it's.
I feel like a lot of choreographers end up being bad people later. You find out.
It's so the like genius choreographer to asshole pipeline
Is is crazy.
is this is crazy.
Okay.
So he created this ballet called Jewels, which is 3 acts. It's rubies, emeralds, and diamonds. And they say that there was like a sapphire at one point, but like no one really knows if it's like a thing or not.
Mhm.
Um, and there's her role is literally called Tall Girl. That is her name. The tall girl
Oh,
in
girl.
rubies. She's just so fierce. Let me pull up a picture. She is just so fierce.
Why
Oh,
is being tall a part of her role?
um, that's a really great question. I don't know. I'm gonna share my screen and pull up a photo. Can you see this Google situation?
Yeah, I see.
Okay,
Zoom.
beautiful. How do I so I can search? Oh, there. I like to okay, she's so fierce. Like yeah, like this
Oh my God.
nonsense. Like she's just like look at these costumes. This is St. Louis Ballet. I saw this performance.
Oh, you saw
Um
it? That's
yeah, I
sick.
went I went one year for my birthday. Like there's just so much detail and like all of her work is just
Oh wow.
gorgeous. And I don't know why she's called Tall Girl, but I that's literally her role and I would love to be her. She has this little turn situation. It's like so famous.
Sick.
Yeah, but it's it's like Tall Girl in rubies.
Yeah, I love seeing ballets. I saw actually the only ballet I've seen is the Nutcracker.
No, that's
Basic.
real.
I always watch ballet videos when they come up on my For You page or like on Instagram. It's so
It's
fun.
also the we need to talk about the ballet to musical theater pipeline. That's real too.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not friends with much people who start as ballet dancers. Actually, I am in my program, but like we have a ballet dance like major, and I guess I haven't talked to much of them about it.
No, a lot of the like MT kids here, like
Hmm.
a lot of the girls like started in like pre-professional ballet, how I started.
Oh,
And then at
pre-professional
some
ballet.
point just kind of and I think my veering off has happened in college just because I've been exposed to more. Like I was a big ballerina. Like I was in Nutcracker every year.
Yeah,
I,
that's
you know, this is my life. And we have Springfield Ballet here that like some of the college kids will like audition and be like ensemble in their shows and stuff.
hmm
But no, that pipeline's real too.
because musical theater is great. Everyone
It
should
is
try
so
it.
great. It is so great. And I think once you realize how much of ballet you can use in your musical theater training, like so
Yeah,
many
there's a
things,
lot
like
of
not even
ballet
just
people who
dancing,
jazz.
like all forms of dance are like represented there. Even like just life things that you learn in ballet, like that discipline serves you wonderfully when you
Yeah,
go into musical theater.
I mean that's why like every college program has ballet class, even though there's like they're not going to be in a full-on ballet. They're just gonna like learn the technique of it because it can be
Right.
like tricky.
And it just like the way you can hold yourself and like come into an audition room looking confident and poised and
Hmm.
it's like everything. So amazing. Do you have any roles that are not quite dream roles, but hey, that would be fun roles?
Hey, that would be fun.
And this kind of when I wrote it was like roles that there's no world that I could ever be cast in, but
Oh, gotcha,
like
gotcha.
it could be fun if it serendipitously happened.
Um, I think I would love to be. I can't think of any roles that like wouldn't because I usually don't think about that. But roles that I would like love to play that would be like a stretch for me, something I'd have to like really work towards.
Yeah.
I want to be in the ensemble of like a super dance heavy show. And I want to like get to the point where I'm like confident in dance enough to be able to do that. Like I want to be
Yeah.
a Wicked ensemble. I want to be in Moulin Rouge ensemble. Like that'd be so fun.
Yeah, mine I chose I had two because I couldn't pick. Well, couldn't
Mhm.
pick them for different reasons. I chose Columbia from Rocky Horror
Which one is
because
that?
she's the
I
tap
forgot the
dancey
whole.
girl. She is the
Do
one
not tap.
that's like, I'll pull up the movie version. She's this girly. She's like got the tap shoes and the
Oh, I mean, I watched it a few years ago. I don't remember much from
yeah,
it.
she's just like one of the people that lives in the castle, but she's got like a
Yeah,
little solo moment and she's just like a dancer in it and like I just don't have that like vocal power. Like I like you said, like work towards that. I think it'd be fun.
yeah.
And then I was like, I jokingly wrote this down, not knowing that I would put it out on the podcast, but I guess here we are. Um, I said I'd like to be a gender swapped Christian in Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, that'd be like crazy. That's a really good role, Christian in Moulin
It's
Rouge.
just everything about it is so good. And like I totally feel so connected to the like, I gotta, I gotta go. I gotta leave the Midwest. I can't be in Ohio. I gotta go to Paris. Like that's like if I had the means to do that, I would be doing that.
Yeah.
Like, can we also talk about that for a second? Detour on the podcast.
Okay.
Like back in the day when they'd be like, oh, she's sick, like go send her to the sea for a little bit. Like
That like the way the medical field has just evolved.
it's crazy. Like they're doing surgeries with robots, and it used to be like, take this cocaine, it'll make you feel better. Like
No, they used to like scramble around your like did they like put something in like your nose or something and then like scramble on your brain if you're like mentally like sick. Like the way they try to like heal like mental disabilities like back in the day are just mind-boggling.
mind-boggling. Or like, dude, my personal favorite is like not favorite loosely, but like when they used to like be like, oh, you have a headache? Smoke this cigarette. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
Or like they use Coke as like the drink, Coca-Cola or like Sprite. Something about it. I think Coke was originally invented to like be a medicine, the drink,
yeah.
or something like that.
It's just like I'm very glad that we're here now and
Yes,
it's not
I'm
like
I'm glad. Yes.
she's sick with exhaustion. Send her out to sea for a bit, you know, like
I mean, I feel like some fresh air sea could do me good
do
if
some
it's that
good.
way, but not heal
No,
me
but the
from a
whole
disease.
I get like what is it that pirates get when they don't have enough vitamin C?
I've never heard of that.
Isn't there
How do they
like a
not get
thing?
vitamin C? They live on the ocean.
What?
Is that vitamin C from the sun?
It's vitamin D.
Oh,
Scurvy. That's what I would
fun
get. So
fact.
what is it though? I feel like if I was out at sea, I would so yeah, it's just a severe lack of vitamin C. Oh, weakness,
Hmm.
fatigue, fainting. Yeah, I'd be a bad pirate.
I can
Severely
never. Wow.
deficient.
I used to have a big fear of pirates for no reason.
Do you really?
Yes, I thought they would just like come get me.
When I was a
I don't know
kid,
why. I think I saw like a movie or something like that.
dude, that's real. When I was a kid, my family went to Florida and like we stayed at like one of those hotels that's like made for like families going on vacation, you know? And they
Yeah.
had these like little things that like you could send the kids to. And there was one that had this pirate guy dude, and I was so scared of him.
Oh
Like
my
my
gosh, yeah.
parents came to pick me and my sisters up, and I was just like sobbing. Like he was so scary.
I have a little brother, so like those stories, I I see him go through it. Like he's sometimes so scared of like just the most random things.
How did your brother feel about mascots? I was big scared of mascots as a kid, like people in costumes.
He he used to be really scared. I remember we like went to Disney World once, and then he like refused to speak to any of the characters. But now I think he's pretty good about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty chill. Like it was a big moment when I like could go take a picture with a mascot at Six Flags. Like when I was a
Yeah,
kid, I was so scared of
I feel like
mascots.
that's a
Like
common fear for so many kids.
I think it's just
They're
because like
made for
they,
kids.
but they're not cool like that. Like
They're not.
I feel like it's because like your brain wants to tell you that there's a person in there, but it doesn't look like a person.
You're like, why aren't they talking?
Right. Why is there nothing behind those eyes?
Oh my gosh, the time. I just realized I have to leave for my internship in like 10 minutes, just so you
Oh no,
know.
you're good. We
Even
can
though
do a
most of
real
the
quick
questions.
wrap up and we can go.
We can still keep talking. Like I just have to probably leave in 10 minutes. So we're leave the Zoom. So we're good.
Okay, we're on the last question, so good wrap up
Okay.
time. Um, as we head out, any lessons or pieces of advice that people want for people listening that want to go
Hmm,
pursue higher
that's a good
education in the
one.
arts. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. Let's see. I'd say there's like so many things that like I wish I knew like last year, and so many things that I'm probably gonna learn later on that I wish I knew this year. But from what I've learned from like my first year at college, it's really about growing as your own person. It's like kind of more about yourself and not, it's so hard to like not compare yourself to other people because a lot of us probably grow up in a place where we might have been like some of the best people back home in our own theater programs or like some like the best dancers in our classes, and that's why we're like pursuing this as a career. But once you come here and like everyone's on that same tier and everyone's like kind of comparing themselves to other people and their abilities, it just gets really hard to like see the success you're like having on yourself. And so that's one thing that I would definitely make sure. It's really like easy to say don't compare, but like really make the conscious effort. And there's gonna be people around you trying to draw comparisons. Like I remember last year, people would literally like talk about who's the best in the class or talk about who are the top five people. And I hated when that was brought up, absolutely hated it. And I would just leave the conversation always. So if that does happen, literally leave. Um,
Real.
Another thing I would say is try as much things that you may not be good at. Don't be afraid to like try a new thing because you're not good at it. You know what I
That
mean?
one. That one.
Yeah. Because college is for failing, it's for growing. And so it's worse to fail in the industry
It's
than to fail in school.
literally it's worse to fail when like your rent is on the line.
Yeah, when there's stakes. Then because this is what it's for. You have 4 years where yes, you have to pay for college, of course, but like 4 years of just like free. I think time is very valuable. It's like free time, 4 years of free time to just learn and try new things and like develop all aspects of theater. I think a
No,
lot
I
of times
absolutely
people, yeah, I think a lot of times people who like aren't strong dancers, they like narrow themselves into the actor singer box without opening up like that dance box. But like, because it's really, I'm gonna tell you now, is like my first few dance classes, like my first semester, I was awful, horrendous. I was like,
me
I'm never gonna be
singing
good.
literally had the same experience singing. I told my voice teacher, I was like, girl, thank you for putting up with me. She's like, dude, you're learning. Like, it's fine. And
Yeah,
I was like, dude, you're so right. Like,
you're literally learning. But like you do hit a point where like you do feel more confident in yourself and like you can only grow from there. You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely. Well, I will let you get off to your internship. Max, where can we find you to follow along?
You can follow me on Instagram. I actually don't know my name. I think it's just Max Ashford with a
There's an
dash, an
underscore. I typed it
underscore.
out this morning.
You know my name better than me. Max Ashford with an underscore, and then my TikTok. I also don't know. I think it's MAXX dot Ashford. So just I
Okay,
think if you just
cool.
type in Max Ashford, you'll find it. I think the
Yeah,
search
I'll
engine.
I'll look it up and I'll put it in the podcast
Yes,
details. But thank you
yes,
so much for joining us on the
yes. Thank you for
podcast.
having me.
Of
It's been
course,
great to talk about this.
thank you. Have an amazing time at work.
Thank
Are you
you. I
making money
will.
doing this?
I do. It's like an internship, so I get like a stipend.
Oh,
So
perfect.
it's like
Have fun making some money doing this.
thank you, my
Have fun
stipend. Thank you
learning.
so much.
And best wishes as you continue your BFA.
You too. Best wishes to you.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Goodbye. All right, friends, and as we wrap up, it is just me on the Zoom call. Thank you so much for listening to the BFA Baby podcast. As always, the YouTube video recording of the podcast will go out on Tuesdays, and the audio will go out on Spotify on Wednesdays. All of the information about me and Max can be found in the description box below. You can follow my Instagram at Tata's Ballet, periods between words, and the YouTube oh, not YouTube, and the podcast Instagram at BFA Baby Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to my interview with Max, and I will see you all later.